everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to sound like Rachmaninoff. We'll use the Prelude in G minor, Opus 23, number 5. The first thing that you should know is the G minor scale, and it's like this. And from that scale we're going to use the fifth chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is D major, like this. Now he's going to come up with this melody. In this prelude there is a little section in the middle that we have this. That is the simple melody, and what he'll do is use the D major chord inversions to harmonize that. So then if we go through the inversions all the way up, we have this, the second inversion, and we could add the melody on top. So we have two chords like this with the A, and that's all there is when you start. So we have. Now after that we're going to switch the chord, and we're going to have the B flat, and what we will use is the B flat augmented. We will have this. That's the chord that we have. Now if you go to the third degree of the scale, 1, 2, 3, you have that chord there, B flat augmented. So again, he's going to bring it all the way up. So if you do this, you have that chord there. So he'll do this with a B flat. Now if we play the three chords together, we have D major and the B flat augmented. Now what he'll do next is go to C, and if you think about it, D major is here, fifth chord. We could also add a C here, and that will make it a D7. And what he'll do is just flip those chords like this, but the only difference is he's gonna bring the C right here and the D right here and put an F sharp. That's it right there. So he'll do then this chord with the melody on top. So you have this. Okay, it's important that you strike each note at once. So, and we get this. Pedaling for this, you could release each time you press a chord and go down. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Sometimes, because this is the same harmony, you could hold it and switch here, and make sure you grab more the melody line. Alright? Now we could harmonize that with an arpeggio, and we discussed the fifth chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a D7, and all he'll do on the left hand is arrange these notes in the same way. So we're gonna have D on the bass, octaves, and then you'll notice these notes. And you see in the middle outline the D7 chord. So that's what we're gonna do. So we have this D. Now we put pedal there. We keep going up. A, second finger, D, first finger. Then you move your hand like this, and you play F sharp, C, D, F sharp, and you go back with the same fingering. We get back there. So let's do it once again. So alright, and you could emphasize maybe at the beginning every three notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now the second pattern is going to repeat, but it's going to start right here. It's not going to have the octave. So let's do this slowly one more time. So we have this pedal down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's time now to put it together. He wrote pianissimo, but sometimes because of the thickness of the chord, it's very hard to play that. It's almost impossible. So don't be afraid to ring a little bit more and be more passionate about it. Sometimes we try to control the dynamics so much that we lose a lot of passion in it. So the melody has to increase even if you do a pianissimo. So let's say the left hand could have a little crescendo a little bit and come back down and emphasize the D again. Okay, and the melody also get there, right? So let's do it together. So we have this second. Now this is gonna match the F sharp. Also it's gonna match the S sharp. The B flat augmented matches here. And we get here. And we got it all down. So to practice the left hand, which I think is the most difficult part, you could do accents every 3 notes. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then after that, maybe try to do speed. So let's say we could do slow, fast, like this. We could do the opposite. Or we could do triplets. And that's it. Then you're ready to put it together. If these chords are too hard, you should practice going from one to the next very quickly. So that means you could do slow, quick, and slow. Or like this, or all together. Okay? Important things for the chords. Make sure you strike each one at the same time. Alright, let's put it together one last time. So that's all there is there. Okay, let's continue. The melody did this afterwards. Okay, so notice there, outlined in the G minor scale, those 3 notes from the first, second, and third degree. And we'll do the same thing. We'll use the same chord for B flat. We already used the B flat augmented, so we'll use this chord, which was the third with the F sharp raised. So we have that. Then we have A, which is slide down. And then we have here, we haven't discussed this, we're gonna use C minor. I'm just giving you now, we'll go back to it. A, and then B flat. And that's it. Let's play it again. It's important you hold the inside of the chord. I'm holding D and F. I'm going to A. Now I'm holding C and E flat all the way here to the next chord that's going to come up. Okay? Now for the left hand, it's fairly simple because we have the same pattern right here. And then here it's going to change a little bit, not too much. Okay? Now let's put this together. So if we start from the C, D, the last chord we played, we'll match it now. We wait, and then here we match it at the same time. Match it here. And then this chord, we'll match it with the D. And that gives us a measure. Okay? Now, let's play all the way through. So we have this from the beginning. Match here. Match. 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 And get here. So that measure matches all the way through the way I did it. Okay? Pedaling for this, sometimes you could do pedal. Hold it there. Change here. And change here. Hold it. Hold it. Change. And you get to the G here. Okay? Important that the line is going up. Increase. Increase. And this is not the only way. You could experiment and see what you like. Now when you get to this chord, we're gonna use the 4th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4. C minor. So for this melody, for all that, we'll use the C minor chord. So these notes, we're gonna do the inversions, bring it here. Notice the inversion of the chord with the octave, also the G melody. So we just have this. And I like this fingering. Use the 5th finger, but always wait a little bit to get to the next one. Don't cut them off like this, okay? So, okay. Now, to the D major, we'll add a combination of C minor here. So what we'll do is, after you have this, you're gonna do this position. Like that. Notice C minor in the middle, and the G is extra there. And we use this fingering. After you have 5, 2, 1, you'll do this. 5, 3, 2, 1. And descending the same way. And then you leap here. go back here to D7 that we have. Okay, so let's do it again. And that's it. Now notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So sometimes at the beginning when you're practicing, you could give it a little accent so the switch is secure. Crescendo, the crescendo. That's it. Important here that the D, you use it as a pivot to bring the fifth finger closer and then go there. Same here. You use this one as a pivot this way and then back. Okay, so we have this. For practicing, you could do rhythm slow and fast. Opposite. All together to get used to it. Now let's put it together. So we play from C minor. Alright, and we have another section there that notice that we use the C, D, and F sharp, and that's no other than the D7 again. We went back to the fifth chord. So we went from the fourth to the fifth, C minor to D7, okay? And the way he'll do it is all the notes flipped with the C and D dissonant interval and the F sharp. So it creates tension here and it should be released to A. So you're gonna let go there, so keep the A and then you play that, okay? Now Lefian is gonna be the same, so you have this. Same thing, so we're done there, so that's all there is. Same way, you could practice this position like this with a flip. Another way to look at it, so then when you see this, you could see the switches easier, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is play those two measures, and let's see which sounds like slowly. So we have much, 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 here. We wait now to F sharp here. Much, much, here, much, and much here. We wait. And then here we have A, C, and D. And again, comes from that chord right there, the fifth, D7. So, nice inside voice after that top melody that we started with, okay? So I emphasize a little bit the last one like a tenuto note, so you should hold it, grab a little extra there, and these repeats again. So once you do that, you gotta realize that you have 3 against 2. So when you do this, you got the A right here, but here you have the F sharp, D, A, and then D. So you actually have 3 notes, and then the next measure starts over. And here we have A, C. So you have these 3 against 2, or 2 against 3. So the right hand plays 2, left hand plays 3. If you do it at the same time, you have to match the first one. You have to play the D, you have to play the C, A, and then matches here. Alright? Eventually what happens is this, you will keep going with the same rhythm, da, 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 and you will put that C and they will fall into place. But one hand has to follow the rhythm. So, so that's it right there. So, okay, if you do it slowly, together, left, right, left, together. But remember, when you do the rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1. So make sure you don't slow down, and you consistently keep the rhythm on the left hand, those 16 notes straight. Okay, so now let's play all this section and then it's gonna repeat, so let's do it. So much, decrease a little bit, increase, accent a little bit, not too much, triplet, then you have the polyrhythm. Now this left hand is going to repeat itself, so when you get here, you have the same left hand again. Same left hand again. Now C minor. Alright, and then there it's going to change a little bit. Now, the chords are going to repeat itself. So after you play this, and you have to hold the C there from before. So you hold the C, so you make it a D7. You go back to this melody, same chord. Now here, you're going to play a straight C minor there, which is the fourth chord. Same chord. So C minor instead of the D7 that we play at the beginning. So we have C minor. Remember to bring the notes on top. So now when you do together with the left hand, you have this much, much here together, and then you get back C minor, okay, and you play just left hand same way like before, okay. You can give it a little bit at the beginning to throw you here to play that section there, and the right hand's gonna do this. Notice that this is the same melody, but now B flat instead. We're gonna harmonize with this chord, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth chord, C minor. So that's why when you bring all these notes, you have this instead. So you'll do this chord, you go to A, and now here you're gonna use kind of like a C sharp diminished here, but really has a G melody. I like to think it this way, and you resolve it. Same melody, and the same D7 to A. Alright? So I'm gonna play these two measures just right hand. So you start very simple with the same chords, D major, to B flat augmented, C minor. Now C minor 7 we're gonna use. Diminish. Same melody, slightly different harmony to A. Alright? Now I'm gonna play a little bit the left hand. So we have the D7, same way. We start D, but we switch to C minor. So far that's the same. But when we get here, we're gonna have this pattern. So we have D, A, maybe you do 3 here, or 2. That 2 is fine for me. And then you do G here. And you do this. Alright, and then it's gonna go back to D7. But think about this. The only difference is the leap here. Down. Now you switch. You got this chord on top. It's almost like it creates a little tension by doing this. And then it's released again back to D, right? Remember, we use diminished kind of chord there, so we're gonna have that together, okay? Okay, now let's play it from D7 very slowly and see how it goes. So we have this. We match here, match, same from before, same. Now we switch here, C minor instead of D7. C minor 7. This diminished interval. We switch here the pattern. A matches. Here matches. We get here. First we play the bass. It's tied up, so we play that D7 here and then we go. Now here we have the same polyrhythm. A together with F sharp. D on the left hand, right, left, and then we're gonna switch here to G minor. Okay? So I think it's a good idea now to play all these 4 measures. So we're gonna play measures 35 through 38. So let's do it very slowly. Pianissimo, we start. Much, much, much. D7. Augmented, C minor. Melody important, top note, D7. We get to F, match, Polyrhythm. Repeat. Now instead we go to C minor. Same arpeggio. C minor 7. Diminish. We play the D and then the chord and then we go again. Polyrhythm. And then we go into G minor here. Okay. Now when you go descending, let's say when you have the diminished, the little variation there, I'm going to do it slowly. There is a tie there. And then it's kind of syncopated because the action is a little bit ahead of time. So we could do this. Much. Now here, that D is syncopated because it's ahead of the rhythm. It's on the last one from the triplet. And then we go from there. Maybe we get to G minor. So I played it quickly and I also played it slow. I like both ways. I think when you go for it a little bit more quickly, you have more passion there. And when you do it slowly, you have a certain distance. So when I play, if in this version I play it quickly, that means I want to give it more passion and not be so distant. Because when you play slowly, it's almost like I'm thinking too much in each, you know? When I play quick, I have more passion in the sense that it's still pretty slow because this melody I'm playing slowly, but it feels like I'm going for it more. But if I just play it's just too heavy-handed for me. Okay, I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Also, thank you very much, and all my support is from Patron and Buy Me a Coffee.